You're working on placement and timing and all that stuff? Or is there anything specific you're working on right now? Or are you just kind of still just saying it over and over?
Now I know, like, hey, try and go off what other people are saying. Start with that and then go into your stuff.
Stop, you're shaking that camera.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like,
sawing the tail.
Going back and forth.
Slice and dice. Because I went with Dante to the open mic on Thursday, but I didn't perform. I signed up and then I'm like, my biggest problem is especially when you're actually established and you have writing and stage presence and material, doing it in front of a room full of people that don't, you're an idiot. People will cannibalize your shit. I don't even want to try my new ideas because at this point, I love with people's expectations. I love a misdirect. Bro, I love every facet of comedy, man. I am obsessed with comedy, like really like nothing else in my life, bro. Shut the f up. Now let's do what we're supposed to be doing. Let's talk about comedy recap. This podcast is a side piece, companion piece, an honest, in-depth look at what it takes to become or be a comedian this day and age. And adding Dante to the fold has made it even more interesting because he is at the beginning of his comedy career and I am 13 years in. So now you kind of get to see everything. You get to see someone build up from ground zero and someone trying to break on through to the other side. And actually, Dante is going to be carrying this week's comedy recap because I wasn't able to make it to my show yesterday. And my show today hasn't happened yet because we were recording this before the show. What time is it, by the way?
6.
It's 6 already?
Yes.
All right, we got to get out of here. Fuck, this whole episode is fucking nerd shit. Okay, so you had one open mic this week.
Yes.
5-minute set.
5-minute set.
Did you do a little over? Or?
I feel like I did.
Okay, because they're loose with the lighting over there.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Because the way my set list is now, I got the light midway through the Walmart joke.
Okay.
But I finish off with the Roach joke.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
You're working on placement and timing and all that stuff? Or is there anything specific you're working on right now? Or are you just kind of still just saying it over and over?
Saying it over and over again, but I'm also like, I feel like right now, I'm because my Roach joke gets the biggest laugh so far.
Yeah.
Consistently, I know to finish with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So now, I don't know if you ever tried this, but have you ever tried to like solve a maze backwards? It's actually, for me, it's easier to solve it backwards.
Interesting. That's just a brain technique?
A brain technique type thing. Right? So now I know, okay, this is what
I already know the answer.
I already know what I'm ending with.
So if I know that, then I got to know where I'm starting.
Well, no.
It's like a subconscious trick.
I'm building my way to the start. Right? So I know I'm ending with these last 2 jokes. And now I'm trying to like fill in that first like 3 minutes.
True. I see what you're saying.
Right?
I see what you're saying, yeah.
But even like this week, one thing that I find has been getting pretty good reactions is kind of riffing off what someone did earlier in the show. So like when I was being introduced, Andrea was saying, like, she was introducing me and she was saying all this stuff. And then I went up and then I immediately said something based off what she said. And that was a pretty good laugh. So I'm like, okay, add it to the inventory. Now I know, like, hey, try and go off what other people are saying. Start with that and then go into your stuff.
Stop, you're shaking that camera.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like,
this nigga's sawing the tail.
Going back and forth.
Slice and dice.
So yeah, that's kind of what I did. That did pretty well. And then I went into my material. I said the same thing, but a little bit different.
Yeah.
And saw how people reacted or didn't react versus the other time that I said it.
I know this isn't going to exactly be beneficial for you because you're at the beginning, but the reason, because I went with Dante to the open mic on Thursday, but I didn't perform. I signed up and then I'm like, if you've noticed with that show specifically, or really with any open mic, unless I'm driving out of town, then I'll 100% do it. But if it's something that I just walk to, I'm going to feel it out.
Yeah.
There's like, once you're past a certain point in comedy, and you know what, this doesn't apply to everybody, but for me specifically, and I've talked to other people, they feel the same way. it's just hard. Like, there's something to just getting up there and speaking a new joke out. Because before a joke is really developed, the most important thing is just saying it. And so you start to get a feel for it. Start to get a feel for the beats and the through lines and the punches and the lows that you fucking throw out. So like you don't necessarily like you don't want to be doing this on a paid weekend show or something. Like you don't want to be trying out just unless you're really good. Like I have worked it into my style now to be able to try new shit out.
Yeah.
Plus, once you have enough really good material accumulated, it's kind of like a buffer.
Yeah.
It makes it easier to pepper in a new idea on a booked or paid or weekend show when you know that it's not going to tank because you have all this cushion around it. When you're at your stage, you pretty much have to do every month. It's just hard for me to, like, when I see that room and it's all comics, I'm like, I have less interest because I can't gauge. Plus, I can't.
That's what I was. Remember, we were talking about this. Like, I was even like, do I even do the same jokes because it's in front of the same people? So how will I know if it's really that funny?
Because at that stage, you're not doing it for that, or at least you shouldn't be worried about that because you don't have enough material to even care yet.
Yeah, but you want material that makes people laugh.
Correct.
So how my thought process is,
but you're at a point where you don't have reps. You need before you can even get to that point. You need reps, so it becomes like muscle memory, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, but. So you get muscle memory, but what if you get muscle memory and saying stuff that gets no laughs? What good is that?
It's not, again, that's ideally not why you're doing it at that point. You're doing mics literally because you have no other space. You're not a pro, so you're not going to get the opportunity to go to the corner or Yucks on a weekend.
Yeah, but the ultimate goal is to do funny stuff.
Of course.
Right?
So you can't get to the funny stuff until you've said it enough. And then like...
So you have to say it enough, but you have to know that it's funny as well.
Correct. Yeah, I'm not going to deny that it's less of a proper gauge, but that's what I'm saying. At that point, you shouldn't even be fucking concerned about that.
About funny?
You should be concerned about funny. Yes. But you're not hearing me because the joke is more about how your delivery tone. That's what you're practicing. You're not there to get a fucking gauge on the funny from comics. That's the last people you want to gauge from.
That's my point, though.
That's your point, though.
Yeah, because you're right. It's how you do it, but you want to do it the funniest way.
Of course.
Even if you're getting reps in, but you're getting
my
reps
point is you're not at the stage to even concern yourself with that.
With what?
Getting that room, an open mic. You're not there to be like, fuck, it needs to be all like just people so I can get a gauge on the funny. You need to get a gauge on the jokes, the timing, the spacing on the words. The ebbs and flows. You're not going to get that at all unless you go to a room like that at your level. Or you hang out with someone like me or you have someone bringing you along and they put you on book shows and shit.
So say that again.
You're not like what I'm saying. Technically, it does apply to you, but realistically at your level and anybody at the beginning level, it doesn't apply to you. You shouldn't give a fuck about that.
What should I not give a fuck about?
You're there to gauge if the jokes are funny or not. You're there to get a sense of what it is, to get through the moments of bombing and awkwardness and all that shit. Like you already you wouldn't be saying anything if you didn't already have a sense of it being funny in the first place. The audience obviously is the ultimate measure of it's funny or it's not funny.
Yeah.
But at an open mic, as a micer, the objective isn't going there and being like, I got to make the other micers laugh.
No, I know that's not the goal. But my point was because you want to get good at doing funny stuff.
Yeah.
Right. But if you're you won't know it's funny if the micers aren't even going to laugh. Right. So if there's even like 5 audience members, you'll get a better sense of it because they're laughing at the joke and be okay. I know this kind of works.
Correct.
But if you're doing the same jokes in front of the same people, they're less likely to laugh because they've seen it before. That's what I was thinking. Because
you're not wrong to think that either.
So,
that makes sense.
If I'm doing level 1 material, how am I going to know it's funny if the same people are not going to laugh because they've already seen it? Instead of doing it in front of 5-10 audience members to where, okay, these are not comics. They've never seen it before.
You should show up to Mississauga on a Wednesday.
Where in Mississauga?
Art Canvas Bar.
Okay.
Jam Easy runs a mic on Wednesdays.
Okay.
And you can just drop in, but I'd just shoot him a DM.
Okay.
I just thought about this now.
Yeah.
Because he like, I don't know. I haven't done it in a long time, but I feel like the last time I did it, there was just random audience there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of an established mic.
Yeah.
And even if there's no audience there, there's usually comics there. So you at least get a different set of comics.
Exactly. Getting new people.
My
to
biggest
see for
problem
the first time.
is especially when you're actually established and you have writing and stage presence and material.
Yes.
Doing it in front of a room full of people that don't is you're an idiot, because that's just the way comedy is. People will cannibalize your shit.
Mm-hmm. No, they'll
just
that
straight
makes
up.
Sense.
And I'm like, I don't even want to try my new ideas, because at this point I'm writing, like, my jokes come out not always really well, like, but I know my voice enough now.
Yeah.
And I still have the same process as when I started, of which I built up over time. It got stronger and stronger over time, but of acknowledging what is funny to me and knowing, because a ton of funny things happen throughout my day all the time.
Yes.
But not all of it, my brain is like, this translates through my voice into something I want to say on stage.
Mm-hmm.
But when it does, like, I catch it immediately.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to bring that shit.
Yeah.
To, like, thankfully, I'm at a place now where I get more of proper, like, paid weekend spots and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why I really had to fucking figure out, especially through COVID, as all the mic scenes just disappeared and we didn't even have rooms to try shit out anyways.
Mm-hmm.
As stuff started coming back, the beginning of shows coming back after COVID was mostly book stuff.
Mm.
And it's like, you didn't really want to fucking, I mean, I guess maybe not right after COVID, because everyone was trying new shit. But once things got established a little bit again.
Yeah, once things settled back in a little bit more.
It's like, I had to develop a better process of elimination, or being able to just throw. And that's where I realized, I'm like, okay, well, I can do wherever I'm at, especially now that the jokes are coming out at a high enough funny level that I could squeak it in.
Yes.
And if it doesn't do that well, like, it's a new joke, so I'll know that. And the audience will be okay, because I'll pull them back out through this fucking back avenue, or take them through this door, or fucking jump through the fucking building window at the top floor, and just like,
Mission Impossible.
Niggas. Is that, do you have any specific goals in mind? Like, so you're trying to build a solid 5 minutes.
Yes, that's the main.
I
think a solid 5 minutes that works for the whole 5 minutes.
Yeah. Consistent laughter.
Consistent throughout the whole, like a strong 5 minutes, to where, and even like maybe I'll say 7 minutes.
Okay.
Right. So you can edit out and switch things out, just to be on the safer side.
Yeah.
Right. So I think.
Are you putting an actual emphasis on that? Like,
7 minutes?
Are you
or
putting
5
that
minutes?
in? No, are you putting that as a marker in your mind?
What?
Like, are you telling yourself that I need this or whatever?
My main thing is 5 minutes. Just get at least 5 minutes of something. Put something together. Right? 5 minutes of material. Then I can, once I have 5, then you can keep that 5 and then add another 5.
I love this part of the process.
And then now I got 10 minutes. And now someone's like, hey, you got 10 minutes? I got a spot for you. Okay, sick. But I got to at least get the first 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
there's no wrong approach. That's what the best thing about this is. It's like, there's obviously things you should be focused on sooner than later. But like, even I'm not the person to be telling people this, because when I started, like, my first emphasis was on transitions.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked about this, I'm sure, numerous times on the podcast, but it's like, I've always been fascinated by comedians that could get from one joke to the next without you realizing that you've just gone through 8 jokes. How the fuck did I get here? He started on barnyard animals and now I'm at fucking suicide. Like, how the fuck?
And so that's another, because I watched back my set, because I actually recorded this one.
Yeah.
So even like as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, I need to put a transition here. Right? Because I'm going in between jokes, but I don't have a transition. I have one transition right now, but it's not really anything. You know, it's just like, I don't even want to say it, but you know what I mean? It's just, I just throw it out there. But going through it, I'm like, okay, if this was like a video edit, this is a rough cut here, this is a rough cut here, this is a rough cut here. Like I have all these jokes, but they're not blended together.
Yeah.
They're just joke. Right? And then maybe the last two, they are a little bit more blended because they're on the same topic.
I feel like had I had known better, or maybe if I not even known better, but it's almost like, I think in a sense, all that stuff, even though I'm not saying it's wrong, because again, I even took a different approach, but it's like putting an emphasis on transitions or a solid 5 minutes or whatever, like kind of takes attention away from the fact that you're really just developing your voice at the beginning, which is the first and foremost. All these things come through developing your voice.
Yes.
Because I feel like, I almost wonder, 'cause I can't go back and figure this out, but had I put the emphasis on figuring out what I'm supposed to sound like or what I naturally sound like on stage, or how to transfer what I naturally sound like to the stage, as opposed to emphasis on transitions and because even I'm like, I remember one time somebody came up to me, and this is like within the first 3 years of me doing comedy, and they're like, nobody knows you for like like you don't have a staple joke or whatever. I was that, because everybody around me at that time was working on getting their 5 minutes. Like, this is my 5 minutes, and they're doing the same fucking order every night of jokes. Some of them still do. Jesus. I never wanted to be like that, bro.
Exactly.
I almost for 5 years, maybe not for 5 years, for at least those 3 years, I don't think I ever walked up on stage and told the same set twice, which is now 13 years later turned into, I have never, I can damn near guarantee this, I have never told the same joke the same way twice.
Yep.
I know, and this is obviously something that has happened through developing the style, but I know my beats. I know, I'm not even attached to the fact that, because you know what ends up happening in that process? Sometimes you forget a funnier part of the joke because another part of the joke ends up finding its way in there.
Yes.
I'm okay with that. Because I ultimately remember the punch, the setups. That's the most important part. Sometimes you get the little fucking, it's just like the accents. You know what I mean? That just like a little cherry on top of the.
Exactly.
But for me, for what I'm trying to present myself as, which is authentic, this is how I am authentically. Some of y'all will see a better version of a joke than others. Yeah. But what I pride myself on is that every audience I perform for has had a tailored experience from me to them. From day one, what I do when I get to a show is I stand in the back of the room for the first 10 minutes or whatever. All the comics, as they're talking and shit, I'm watching what works, who's in the audience, I remember after I got over the working on figuring out transitions and stuff, the next thing was like, what I'm saying right now is, how do I tailor the experience to the room? And not just, you have to be in the room, be present, be aware, correct. And that means not fucking off and actually paying attention to shit. Like most comics won't. I still, to this day, I'm one of the few comics that will sit there and watch a show. Not every show. Yeah. I've gotten out of the habit of doing that at every show now. But for the most part, especially if it's people I've never seen before, I'm fascinated by that shit. Yep. Like,
and that's one of the things that I'm working on. As like I was saying, Andrea goes up and says something. If I'm not paying attention to what she's saying or what other people are saying,
correct,
I'm just gonna go, because we've gone to enough shows where I've seen comics blast through their material and not even connect with the audience once.
Yeah. Those are, that's like neuroses and shit. And
but I don't want to go down that route of, okay, I got it type 5, but you don't.
But you don't have neuroses, so you don't need to go down that route. Some people are straight up like autistic. Like, they can't, no eye contact.
It's not even no eye contact, because like sometimes I feel weird like looking directly at audience members, like in the eye.
I love that.
Like I'll do it, but I gotta like look away. Like it feels so weird because
no, that's the intimacy.
They're like looking at me like this. So I'll like look down, and then I'm like, okay, I'll go to the next person. I'll go to the next person. Like I don't like lock in.
That is a level of intimacy that video games, movies, none of that shit will ever give people. That is a personal experience.
It is.
That is a movie that's tailored to you.
Exactly.
That is a video game that was written for you. You know what I mean? Not as opposed to a video game that you are being a part of and fucking moving your character as you want to. It's like, no, bitch. I have created the universe and the vehicle kind of, but I'm gonna let you drive.
Yeah, and it's a back and forth thing.
Yeah.
And so going back to the set, you know, I was telling one of the jokes about, you know, how Canada, there's a bunch of different people, right? And have you seen me do that one yet? Maybe at one of the other open mics.
Maybe.
But either way,
it's a newer joke.
It's a newer joke.
Say the premise again?
Canada is very multicultural.
I don't remember this joke, no.
Either way.
You told it on Thursday?
I told it on Thursday.
Yeah.
But because there was more audience response, because there was actual audience members this week.
Yeah.
Right? So like I said it, and then the crowd responded in a certain way. So now I respond back to the audience, even though I know what I'm still going to say. It's like, okay, well, they reacted this way. Now I got to switch it up and react this way in according to what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like, okay, they respond and I still go through the material. I'm like, no, they did this. I'm like, okay, I acknowledge it. And then I continue with the joke. And then it's a more personal connection because they had a response and then I had a response to their response. Right? So I think those sort of smaller things that I'm still trying to be present in the moment to even like notice them. Because sometimes I'm not going to say I black out, but like
when you're preparing for a set, you're in your own universe.
Not even that. Like I'll be on stage and then I'll just forget, like, you know, not my stuff, but I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on stage. You know what I mean? Like lock in, look at them in their eyes. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean? Like I'll still like, you know, I don't think I have an eye contact thing, but it's like when I'm just looking directly at the, like, it feels weird looking down at someone in their eyes and they're just like, tell me a joke. You know what I mean?
Not to me anymore, but I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
Doesn't like
say something funny.
I love it, bro. Comedy club people are just vulnerable. I love fucking with people's expectations. I love a misdirect. This is, bro, I love every facet of comedy, man. Like I am obsessed with comedy. Like really like nothing else in my life, bro. Shut the fuck up.
Speaking of comedy, we should probably go over to the poll results.
Yeah, let's like I feel like there's still more I want to say because this is
sorry.
No, like no, we've said a lot. And at least this episode is half fucking Marvel and half comedy now. As long as we at least match the nerd shit with comedy,
we gotta balance it out.
I might even edit it so that this goes first. No, I'm joking, but you know the preview for this week is gonna be. I'm gonna be like, yo, just get through the Marvel shit. I'm even gonna say this right now. Get through the nerd shit. We talk about comedy a lot. Timestamp that for me, please.
Gotcha.
Remember, this is 10 minutes behind.
Yeah, I've been
Giga Chikadze. We can't do the UFC recap for this week because we were recording this before the event happens. So we'll briefly go over the results of the fight on next week's episode, which you won't care by then anyways, but we'll do it for you just for continuity's sake. We're gonna change the way we do UFC recaps and all that stuff. Yo, honestly, bro. Maybe even we just keep that out of the podcast and record them separately. I'm just throwing that out there as an idea. It doesn't have to happen. I'm okay with them still being in the podcast, especially now because we keep that shit to the end.
Yeah.
But what I'm realizing today is maybe front load it with comedy and then
we should only
nerd it out at the back.
At the end.
Yeah.
That's the dessert. When we get through all the comedy stuff, when we do our 50 minutes on comedy recap, the last 10 minutes could be nerd and UFC. Maybe wrestling if there's something going on.
I like that, you son of a bitch. Yeah, why don't you twist the knife, you fuck. Go watch that damn Deadpool movie again, motherfucker. Wrestling's still real to me, damn it. Have you ever seen that video?
No.
Type that in right now. Type that in right now. It's still real to me, damn it. This man speaks to my wrestling nerddom. It's still real to me, damn it. Okay, bro, wait. What year? 15 years ago. That's the top one.
Okay.
There's a documentary on the guy. So this is, you know how like they do the Comic Cons and all that stuff, like the local comic conventions, especially the last like 10 years, they've been bringing the wrestlers out like crazy. And so this is even before that. This is a straight up like wrestling, like it's in a high school gymnasium. It looks like a meet and greet type deal.
Yeah.
And this is like a super fan.
Yes.
This is obviously years past the heyday of the 80s and 90s of wrestling. And this is someone who grew up through that. We'll watch the 30 seconds.
E-Bombs.
Pause it. Yeah. Pause it. Yeah. E-Bombs. Yo, shout out to E-Bombs, bro. My old ass. Turn up the volume on the video. Yeah.
Play it?
Yeah.
Where are you? Right there.
Yeah. I just want to thank each and every one of y'all for all you've done to your bodies. It's still real to me, damn it. I mean, thank you.
Man.
And they
you,
say that a hero
You're awesome.
sailor.
Thank you so much, Mr.
I
Funk,
don't
for saying
stand
what you need to
here
be
waiting.
saying.
You can stop it now.
I don't want to.
I hold on.
That needs to be a soundboard effect.
It's still real to me. It's so real. Bro, this guy was affected by wrestling so much. Thank you for all you've done to your bodies. That's what he says. Bruh.
Yeah, their bodies are destroyed.
These new guys are the athletes. The new generation, the 2000s and up, are the actual athletes that got into wrestling. Anything before that is barroom brawler cokeheads. And juiced up roid monkeys.
I was waiting for that part.
Like, bruh, they're walking around like this now, bruh. Like,
Yeah.
if they're alive,
Yeah.
bro. It's actually sad as fuck. The statistics of the wrestlers from the 80s that are dead now, almost all of them, bro. It's fucked. Even like, it's crazy to see Ric Flair just casually fucking just, because he did so much coke and partying and stuff. But then Hulk Hogan, now he's got like a fucking walker.
Does he really?
It's oh yeah, brother. Walk it out, brother. Oh shit. Hulkamania is running wild on the handicap parking. Anyways, let's wrap this episode up.
This is Black Zeus, the podcast season 5.
I love y'all. Thank you for supporting. Once again, the Patreon is launched. If you do want to watch my comedy special right now, you can do so. It's only $10 and you can get it as part of the subscription fee. So like if you subscribe to the Patreon, you can get it that way, or you can just buy it outright for $10 that way. Once again, for transparency, I will release the comedy special for free on the YouTube once we hit 1,000 subscribers. So you can also just hit the subscriber button and just do that. You can support that way, whichever way you want to support. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that. I don't necessarily use it the way everybody else does, but I'm there if you want to find me. AKA Black Zeus is the person to find on those platforms.